Andy Enfield. Thank you. It's great to be here. Newport, this area is one of my favorite places on earth. My wife and I, when we got here 5 years ago, we were moving from Florida, and I flew out a week earlier I was out here about a week. I had to fly back and pick her up to look at some houses. We didn't know where to live. So we had a real estate appointment in Newport. And we get off the plane, and we were delayed for about 3 hours. We got down here 3 hours late, and the house already had 5 offers on it. We didn't get it. It's like, well, plan B. So we had another real estate appointment in Newport. And the realtor looked at us and said, well, you understand, if you want to live in Newport, you need a boat and a helicopter. I said, well, yeah, you're going to live on the water, so you need a boat, you need a helicopter to commute to USC and back. So we had neither. I've never had a boat in my life. I don't know how to drive one. I do like to go on it. So I mean, you have big yachts down here. You can always invite us. We'd be happy to come down for a day or two. But this area is special. I've never met so many USC Trojans in one spot in this part of Orange County. It's amazing. It's like everyone graduates and comes south. And why wouldn't you? What a great place to live. In fact, during the reception here, I met about 8 or 9 couples that said you met your spouse at college, at SC. And to hear the stories are pretty cool. I think the one was, the first one, freshman year, we're moving into the dorm on campus, and I was with my mother, and we're unloading the back of the car and picking these boxes up. And here comes this young man over, another freshman moving in, and he saw we were struggling, and he helped us, and he helped us move in, and that's my husband today. And my mother was smitten from the first. I said, what's smitten mean? I don't know that word. I didn't go to USC, but so anyway, they've been married for 40 years. Next story was, we were in chemistry class, and I wasn't very good at it, but this young lady was, but she was even better looking and she was smart. So I tried to ask her to see if she could help me through the semester, and she became my wife. It's good work. The next one, of course, at the 9-0. This is a good one. I don't know if you had fake IDs back then, or they didn't even check IDs. I don't know, but they didn't check? Okay, they probably didn't check your SAT score either before you got in. Actually, most of you wouldn't get into USA today. You know that, right? Oh, yeah. 64,000 applicants, only 11% got in. That's amazing. So you're very fortunate. You wouldn't be married today because you wouldn't have met your spouse. Next one. This is pretty good because I was in a fraternity. I went to a sorority and fraternity party with a young man. But I left with one of his fraternity brothers, and he's my husband right now. So I don't know what happened at that fraternity party, but it must have been pretty good. So it's pretty cool to go back in time, whether it's 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago, and have that special bond. I live in Manhattan Beach. It's a little closer. We love that area too. But what a great place to live. And what is most impressive, as we tell our recruits, is the strong Trojan bond that is all over Southern California. And with that, I'll tell you a little bit about our program. We've come a long way in a short period of time because of the young men we recruited. And I'm only as good as my coaching staff. Jason Hart, my associate head coach, is terrific. Chris Capco's been with us 5 years. He's outstanding. Mark Bahar, Mike Sweats, and Curtis Schultz, our strength coach. A young lady that joined us right out of school 2 years ago to run our whole basketball office and travel with us and make sure he does. She's actually here with her parents tonight. So Lauren, I want you to stand up. Lauren Rados, where are you? Lauren? And unfortunately, Lauren is retiring from USC basketball at a young age. She is actually moving back to Newport, and she's going to get into some other endeavors. So we're going to surely miss her. But the good thing is it's only a 45-minute drive without traffic. So she'll be there quite often at the Gallon Center. So Lawrence, we're all going to miss her. We don't have any other. I don't see any other basketball alumni in the crowd. Is there anyone that played basketball at USC here? Anyone ever played basketball before, maybe in high school? There's a couple of you. It's funny how many people never play, but they all know what the heck I'm doing and not doing. And they're happy to tell me about it. And they even email me. They're telling me what defense to run. You should have done this. You should have. When DeAndre Ayton caught the ball, why didn't you stop him? Well, you try stopping him. We were double teaming a guy in the Pac-12 championship. We were sending two of our big guys out at the same time. You're still scoring over both of them. I turned around to our assistant coaches. I said, whose game plan was this? But we've come a long way because Jordan McLaughlin, our first recruit, Elijah Stewart, they just graduated. What they've done for our program with Chimezi Metu, who's going to leave and go to the NBA. Chimezi graduated in 3 years. Will be a draft pick in June 21st. Benny Boatwright, those four guys have played three years for us. They set the school record for the number of wins in 1 year, over a 2-year period, and over a 3-year period. And how special is that? So let's give them a round of applause. We've also had guys transfer in like Derek Thornton. Derek is a terrific player. He's going to have a big year for us. Shaquan Aaron, who's been with us a couple years now. We have our juniors to be, Nick Rakocevic and Jonah Matthews, who have been very vital to our success the last 2 seasons. And then we have the young guys. DeAnthony Melton did not play for us this year, but will be a first-round draft pick in this month's draft. How about that? He'll play a game his sophomore year. He's going to be a first-round pick. It would have been nice to have him, but he's such a hard worker. And then we have a talented group of freshmen. And so that's kind of where we are now. Very, very proud of this team. This is our most challenging year because we had a lot of distractions, a lot of injuries. Benny Boatwright's been hurt for 2 straight years as our leading scorer. And for this group of players to win 24 games, come in second place in the Pac-12, to go to the Pac-12 championship game, lead the league in defense for the first time in over 15 years. We led the league in points per game. We were number 1 in the nation in defense for how long it took for teams to shoot against us per possession, 19 seconds. We led the league in steal percentage, turnover percentage against. And so they did such an amazing job with all the distractions and injuries to stay in focus. And our coaching staff, we could not be more proud of this team because, honestly, this is probably the most overachieving team we've ever coached. So we're excited to move on from that now because Derek Thornton and the other guys are ready to take this program to the next level. We have the 15th ranked recruiting class in the country. We have 3 talented freshmen coming in. Kevin Porter Jr. is a 5-star recruit out of Seattle, Washington. And some of you say, what's a 5-star recruit? That means he's really good. There's only 5 stars. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. They don't even give you 1 or 2 stars because then you go to Cal State Fullerton and play. But I only said that because I met someone who went to Fullerton here today. So. The 5-star recruits are the top 25 players in the country, like Derek was coming out of high school. That means you're really good. So Kevin Porter Jr. is he's 6'5 and a half. He weighs 217 pounds. He's a guard. He's a big guard, left-handed. We have a top 40 player in the country, a 4-star recruit out of Florida, Elijah Weaver, is 6'5". He's a combo/point, can play off the ball. And then we have a 6'8" forward, Jerron Brooks, coming from Seattle. So we have 2 Seattle kids and from Florida. It's our first time since we've been here. Our recruiting class is not majority Southern California players. And that's because Southern California had a down year this past year, and so we had to go outside the area. Now, 5 years ago when we first got the job, we couldn't recruit Southern California, and if we went out of the area, they looked at us like we had 3 heads, like, USC, we ain't coming there. Yeah, you guys suck. They actually said a lot worse than that. I'm trying to be nice here. So it's a credit to our coaching staff, our players, and where our program is now that we can go outside the area. We have 2 commitments in the 2019 class. It means there'll be seniors in high school, 2 local kids in Southern California. They're both 5-star recruits. It's our first time ever to have 2 5-star recruits in a recruiting class. In fact, the 5-star recruit, Kevin Porter, this year is our first one ever anyway. So now we got 3 coming. One's 6'10", one's 6'9", and they are terrific players and great students. So I can't talk about them, but. So the future's bright at USC basketball. We'd love for you to give us the support. The Galen Center, it's really, actually, if you go against traffic, it's not too bad. So, you know what? You guys don't work down here. Most of you are in real estate. You don't do anything anyway. So, just have a nice lunch at the Balboa Bay Club or on, Lido Island or Newport Country Club or Big Canyon or wherever the heck you go, and just leave it at 1. Go have a nice lunch, and then take off for Galen so you get there by game time. Get there early, go to 9-0 or McKay's and reminisce. So with that, I'll answer a few questions before Coach Helton comes up. And by the way, the football team, the football program, I've been here 5 years. I'm on my 4th football coach. Okay, so Clay Helton is doing amazing things with this program, and he's got an unbelievable coaching staff. And when you meet guys like Tyler and the rest of the guys on campus, it's pretty special. So let's give them a nice round of applause. So any quick basketball questions before we move on?
Yeah, so all over the websites, we got 2 5-star. One was Mobley, and the other one is I can't remember the other guy. But you can't talk about it because it's a future year.
Yeah, we're not, since they haven't signed with us officially. They're just committed to us. So the NCAA rule is I can't comment on specific players' names and tell you all about them. But I can tell you they're really good.
Assistant coach Mobley, right? When you look at the way his sons play on Big Ten, I mean, he has done a fabulous job coaching his own son and developing them to be exceptional post players and so forth. Is he going to work with some of the other post players? Do you have plans for him in that regard?
So in case you couldn't hear it, he said Coach Mobley, Eric Mobley is our new assistant coach we hired 2 months ago, and his sons are big-time basketball recruits. And in fact, that was the same name that you just mentioned over here. You guys can fill in the dots. You went to USC, figure it out. Yes, he is an excellent coach of big men. He's 6'7". He played college basketball. He played overseas professionally. He is one of the best teachers I've seen of skill development for bigger players. And we really need that on our staff because my staff, Jason Hart played in the NBA at point guard for 10 years. Chris Capco's a guard. I was a shooting guard. I never passed the ball ever. And we need a big guy coach to come in and help us with the footwork and the ceiling and the defensive end. And his, you're right, when you watch his sons play with their skill sets and you watch the players that he's coached, it's very, very impressive. So that is a goal of ours to be more versatile with our bigger players, meaning that they need to be able to do a little more. And like we're losing Chmezi Metu, he's a pretty good player. He's going to be a draft pick this year in the NBA draft. And Nick Rakocevic will be moving on here in another year or two. And so to have that next wave of guys, but he can help us right now. He's already made a big difference in 2 months with Victor and Big Nick. So we're excited to have Eric as a coach. Yes, sir.
The prognosis for Boatwright, is he going to be 100% by the season?
Benny Boatwright has had a very tough 2 years. 2 seasons ago, he tore his MCL. Missed 18 games, came back, helped us down the stretch. He helped us win 2 NCAA tournament games, played great. He was going to have a huge junior year. This year, he tore us up his kneecap against Oregon at home. He was out for 6 games with a foot injury, comes back, and was playing great. And against Oregon, we beat them 3 times, by the way. By 20-75. I say that because it was the first time we ever beat Oregon, but to beat them 3 times in 1 year. But Benny got hurt in that Oregon game, was out for the season. So he had knee surgery after the year to tighten up the knee because he had an MCL and a kneecap injury, and he should be back full strength. We're hoping by September 1st. But he's extremely vital. He's been our leading scorer when he wasn't injured for 2 years, and he needs to have a huge year for us if we're going to be very good. One more question. Yes.
Coach, I have 2 questions actually. Besides our players, what player in the Pac-12 do you think still will be impacted?
What players from other teams will impact the league? Well, this year we're losing DeAndre Ayton, who is he's going to be number 1 pick in the NBA draft, and he beat us in the Pac-12 championship. So thankfully, some of these guys are leaving. But we're losing 4 pretty good players too: Elijah Stewart, McLaughlin, Boatwright, Metu, and Melton. If you look at the teams, UCLA has some very talented young returning players. The kid Chris Wilkes, who will be a sophomore, is outstanding. Jalen Hands from San Diego, so that's probably their 2 best returning players. Oregon has a point guard, Peyton Pritchard, back, and they have Bol, who's played at Modern Day for a little bit until he decided to transfer, but he's 7'3", very, very skilled. If you look around the league, you got a point guard from Colorado is very good. Stanford has a couple young players, so and Washington has everybody back. Washington with the big kid Dickerson, I can't remember his first name. I dream about him sometimes because he scores about 25 and has 18 rebounds every time we play him. Some nightmares, but there are some very good players in our league. In fact, the Pac-12 we had 14 draft picks in last year's draft, which was the most of any league in the country. This year we'll probably have, I would say, maybe 8 or 9. So it's an outstanding league. One more question, and we'll move on. Yes.
Coach, when I found out you didn't make the tournament, I almost threw my TV into the pool. How upset were you when you found out after you had such a great year?
Yeah, it was. It's one of those things that we don't talk about in the office with our players anymore, and dwell on because you got to move on. But when it happened, we were all in shock because we thought we were 100% in the tournament. And so did most. If you would have 99.9% of the country, they thought we were in the tournament. All the bracketologists, all the coaches. So we to give you statistics, we were second place, finished in the Pac-12. We go to the championship game. So just if you watched us play, you knew we were good enough to be there. Our RPI, which is rating percentage index, was 34th in the nation. The lowest RPI in a power conference to not make the NCAA tournament prior to this year was 49. We were 15 spots below that. Our strength of schedule was 36 in the nation. We won 11 games on the road, which is supposed to be a big barometer. And we won a Diamond Head Classic in Honolulu that had Miami and some other teams in it. So if you look at just the numbers, there's no way we should have been left out. There were 6 teams in power conferences that had losing records. For instance, Arizona State was 8-11 in our league. They were 9th place and lost in the 8-9 game in our conference tournament. I'll repeat that. They were 8-11 in our league. We were 14-7. We were 7 games over 500. Went to the championship game. We're second. They were 3 games under 500. 8-11. We're 9th place, losing the 8-9 game in the tournament, and somehow they got in instead of us. So if you look at the teams, I think it's a very bad precedent when teams are 2 or 3 games under 500 in your own conference. How the heck are and you know what? If they're good enough to go, great, but don't take teams that have losing records in your own league over teams that like us that have all the statistics to back it up. And if you start going down a list and you have to take some of them, fine, but don't take them over more deserving teams. So to answer your question, we were all in shock. And I'm still a little pissed off about it.